Great time here. It's all going to be ad lib, so expect the unexpected. All right, and we have a small studio audience, so this is going to be great. I want to say hi to Bob and to Bill over there, and Tommy's producing the show. He's the one that's going to make us into miracle workers. Okay, let's talk for a minute about the Miami Theater. All right, and what are you guys doing? And gals,
Miami Theater Works is a new theater company. We just started. And this will be our inaugural summer. We're about to open a show. This was my kind of brainchild that Miami just needed some more professional theater groups. And so we are opening a show in a week, our first show ever, called Title of Show. Yes, that is the name of the show. The name of the show is Title of Show.
With parentheses around it.
Yeah.
So before you go on, you guys sing, right?
Yes.
You guys do a lot of that. When I say guys, that's gender neutral, okay?
Understood.
So are we ready to sing over here? Camera on them over there, and also Tommy. All right, let's sing a song. Let's hear it.
All right, this is the opening number. So there's 4 actors in the show. We got 2 over there, and we're here, and we're going to make this work.
Okay, near the microphone over here. All right.
And you should switch with Natalie.
A, D, 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 F sharp, A will be the first notes of our show.
We'll start with the seed of an idea,
then plant it onto paper with a decent Ticonderoga, and then watch it sprout into a musical. And then we'll help to make it grow bigger. Nothing guarantees it will stand out, and its future is unknown. So in the meantime, we will schedule a lot of meetings in Hell's Kitchen to collaborate my living room, but we can't do it all alone. So we'll get together all our friends and exploit all of their talents. We'll explore the latest trends and avoid them when we balance the book with the score.
Book with the score.
The score with the lyric appealing to the judge. These are shapes gently nudging the satiric.
trying hard not to duplicate what we've seen and heard before. And if Bob talks there, he'll appreciate it for invented with the score.
So we'll put in a syncopation and we'll add a quarter note. And we'll softly start the coda from a very tiny point. And then we'll get a little louder to further emphasize the point. Then we'll cross down stage toward you. Now we're yelling fortissimo.
Yelling fortissimo.
Yelling fortissimo.
It's the opening song. It doesn't have a title, no. And it's not very long. But it's the starting point of our musical. And here's the first scene of our musical.
Wow. Miami Theater Works right here. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So, folks, you can see them on August 6th through the 8th and the 11th and 12th
Yes.
at the Coral Gables Art Cinema.
Yes.
Okay, why don't we go around with your name so everybody can see? We'll start over here.
Okay, so I'm Michael Stoddard.
I'm Stephanie Stazik.
Owen Reynolds.
I'm Natalie Veter.
And I'm Jared Perun.
You guys are really great, very inspiring. All right, and I got goosebumps thinking about how you guys must feel about doing this. So let's start over here with it's Michael, right?
Owen.
Owen, I'm sorry. All right, I got
Michael's my better half.
okay. Stoddard.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay, Michael, why are you doing this? Because he said you should do this?
No, he's Michael.
I'm sorry. Owen, why are you doing this?
I'm doing this because I love theater. Michael's a great friend of mine, and Natalie is too. So is Jared. I just met Stephanie.
Yeah.
We're already great friends. And honestly, we all just love theater so much, and we're here to support Michael and the theater scene of Miami that desperately needs more, and we're here to fill that void.
So and how did you come to do this?
So I've worked with Michael for the last 5 years or so with a lot of the shows he directs and produces, and the music is a huge part of my life. So it just made sense that when he approached me with any kind of idea, I jump on board.
Right.
It's usually a very easy choice to make.
And Natalie?
Much like everybody else said, we all love Michael so much, and we all want to support all of his work. And it's
This is a great ego booster. Let's tell more stories about me.
Oh my gosh.
It's all about me. Okay. And why don't you tell us, why are you doing this?
I've known. Oh my goodness, he conned me. No, I've known Michael for 11 years, and we've done a lot of theater together. I'm a professional actress, actually from Wisconsin, so I'm an imposter here. But he talked to me about this idea, and it was like, I think I want to do a show. And then I left, and he was like, by the way, it's turning into a theater company. So I'm honored to help him start a theater company, something that our two passions brought us together, and so.
So we know music accesses different parts of the brain than it does the stoic things that Bob and Tommy and I do, and Bill. So it's certainly like, oh, it got over there, right? Because it really does make people feel better, right?
Yes.
And so, why have you spent so many years doing this?
Well, if COVID has taught us anything, and people are like, you're crazy for trying to do this now as we're hopefully moving out of COVID, it's the best part of theater is an escape from our own lives and into the emotions of characters that we're watching. And if there's ever been a time that we need more live theater and more live arts, it's now, because it's this ability to leave yourself for 2 hours and go on a journey of these other people. And was always my passion for theater. And I'm also a theater teacher. And I love to instill that, there's nothing like theater arts.
Sometimes when we see things that are happening and you go, wow, that was really risque to be able to do it then. And 10 years later, you say, why didn't you do it 20 years before? Of course. Of course. So with this pandemic, we know that there's a lot of social, emotional issues that are going on. Overdoses are way up, mental health issues. And for us here in particular, the recent tragedy at Surfside caused us, to go back again and to grieve for those people and for ourselves about life. And certainly you bring up a really good point, which is, come out, you're going to feel better. Do we have a feel-good song that you can sing right now?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, ladies?
Owen and I can sing a song.
All right, we ready, Owen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we want to switch?
Yeah.
All right.
Switch on. Come on in, Owen.
Yeah, we did.
And that's, he comes up. That's really why I chose the show. The show is so funny and so witty. It's only 90 minutes, and it's just a laugh riot the whole time, and that's what we need right now.
Okay. So why you do that, and for the people that are very stoic in the crowd, am I allowed to read this question here? Bill, question number 1? Okay, here it goes. What's this I hear about shrimp or drag queens stealing shrimp? Sounds like a crazy time, right?
Yeah, that's actually my line in the show. The two guys that created the show, along with the girls, Jeff, Hunter, Heidi, Susan, it's all based off their real lives, real conversations that they're having. And they had some crazy times together, and they wanted to include that in the show, and they knew it would probably make people laugh too. I mean, who doesn't laugh at such an opportunity?
This is taking place, I should say, in New York.
Yeah.
So that's where they are seeing these drag queens walking. I mean, they talk about what they're seeing in that time in New York where they're living. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's hear it.
You want to start with a line? Lead in?
Sure. What if the first scene of the show was just us talking about what to write? Like, we could put this exact conversation in the show.
So you're saying everything we say from now on could be in the show?
Yeah.
Like this.
Like this.
And this.
And this.
This too.
This too.
So I could say Wonder Woman for president, and that would get into our show.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder Woman for president. I'd watch a show that says that.
Me too, but do you think other people would want to watch a show like that?
What if this dialogue was set to music? What if what we're saying could be said in a show?
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Perhaps we can use it. Music in a musical, how can we go wrong? We could ask significant questions. We could get important points across. Like, are we writing for art?
And is art a springboard for fame?
And will fame get folks to trust us?
But will they trust us if it's just us, me and you?
Two nobodies in New York. Hey, I think it's working. We're discovering choices. Lots of things to think about when writing a show.
Yeah, creating a vehicle to showcase our voices. And I don't mean our vocal cords, I mean what's below.
We could ask significant questions. We could get important points across. Like, are we writing for art?
And is art a springboard for fame?
And will fame get us a paycheck?
But will a paycheck mean that we're sell out? And if we sell out, will they yell out me and you?
Two nobodies in New York. Key change!
Maybe someday our show will get a theater, and if not this festival, then somewhere out west.
TV actors in our show, what could be better? We could get-
Sweeter.
What?
Sweeter. We've been over this a million times. You know the lyric is sweeter.
Okay, here's the deal. One of them sounds like 2 syllables, and then one of them sounds like 3 syllables. So it's like theater, sweeter. Does that rhyme?
Yes. Sorry, Larry, from the key change. 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe someday our show will get a theater, and if not this festival, then somewhere out west.
TV actors in a show, what could be sweeter?
That's great. Thanks. We could get that woman who was on Empty Nest.
Dinah Manoff? She's awesome.
Yeah.
She was in Grease.
Yep. And leader of the pack.
We could ask significant questions. We could get important points across. Like, are we writing for art?
And is art a springboard for fame? And will fame get us a sitcom? And will a sitcom get us on Ellen? And will Ellen get folks to like us? And if they like us, will they mic us, me and you? Two nobodies in New York. Oh, nobody's in New York.
Well done, team. That's tremendous. All right, so title of show. That's what it says on this right here. What does that mean? Title of show. How did this come about to do that?
So the tagline for the musical, it's about 2 guys writing a musical about 2 guys writing a musical. So these 2 guys, this is the true story, were trying to submit a play to a musical festival, and they only had 3 weeks to write it. So they decided, well, we're just going to do it. We're going to write the show in 3 weeks. And on the first day, they couldn't come up with an idea. So then they said the lines you just saw. They were like, well, what if this was the musical? And so the show, when you watch it, you're watching every scene as they created it and the lines that they're saying to each other. And the 4 actors were friends. And that's why the dialogue is so funny. Because like when friends get together, it's witty, it's snappy. And so when they finally got to submitting the play, they didn't have a name. And they said, well, the form says title of show, so what if we just call it title of show?
So who is the funny guys here, ladies?
Personally, it's me. I think we all have our moments.
So
We all have our moments.
so who's the audience for this? Who do you want to see this?
Except kids.
Yeah, really, there's language, because again, they were for adults. So, there's some language in the show. It's used tastefully, and it's not used to shock the audience. The language is in there to just give reality to their dialogue. So I recommend that, you should probably be 15 to see the show. And, but you don't have to know anything about musical theater to love the show, or if you know a ton about musical theater, you will absolutely love the show, but you'll enjoy that dialogue.
The animation and the enthusiasm and the passion is just extraordinary. All right, so my hat's off to all of you. Can the ladies sing us a song?
I mean, I could sing my one.
Yeah, do
I
your
think you definitely should.
do your
Sure.
one.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, Natalie, you come switch me because you have a line with Owen.
Here, I'll keep the seat warm.
I'll sing closer to the mic.
You can move that table away if you want.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Unless it feels like it gets
Are you going to sing from there?
Let's go change.
Sure.
All right. Can
Yeah,
we do the ladies together? All right.
Oh, yeah.
They have a scene while in
Yeah.
so
it's- it's
okay,
like
all right.
yeah.
You don't want me singing right now.
Okay. All right. Take it away. You're on.
I'm standing here, just left of center, and something ain't clear. When did I sign on the line of this decree? Sorry, stuck in a show where I am playing me. That's funny.
Keep going.
I'm trapped in a hole, nowhere to go with my role. Straining my neck for an exit that sets me free. Stuck in a show where I am playing me.
So, how's the writing?
It's going. Just been working a lot with Heidi to create a song that showcases her voice.
Is this musical going to become like too fancy for me to be in?
Maybe. Actually, I think it's a little donuts for dinner.
Donuts for dinner. Is that a show?
No, donuts for dinner. Like, it sounds like a good idea, but then 30 minutes later, you're wanting something a little meatier.
Little meteor, like a tiny asteroid.
Exactly. No. I just don't want this to be novelty songs and random sketches linked together. I want it to be more. Not that there's anything wrong with fluff, but I want to strive for something that really makes people pay attention. You know what I mean?
Oh, I stopped listening.
Not a chance for my career to advance, and there's no straight guys here for me to romance. I guess I'll swallow my pride and make the best of the rest of this spree. That is the note I'm singing, Jeff. Stuck in a show where I am playing me.
Wow. Congratulations, Stephanie, Natalie, and Owen. All right. Thank you very much. That's a great job. And so let's go over this again. So, Michael, you're Jeff.
I play Jeff.
You play Jeff. And Owen, you play Hunter.
Yes.
Stephanie,
Heidi.
Heidi. And Susan, Natalie plays Susan.
I do.
And Jared.
Jared
You are playing the piano.
I am playing.
He has 5 lines.
Yeah, just 5 full
Yes.
lines.
His name is Larry.
So,
Five
So-
singers to just.
how did you decide on the Gables Art Cinema for this? How did that come about?
Well, this show is with only 5 people. It's a smaller cast. I was looking for a smaller venue. You know, the show doesn't work well when you're in a theater that seats like 500 people. It needs to feel intimate and like you're part of their. And so we went. I was jumping around touring theaters, and I went there, and they were really excited, and that's sometimes all it takes. They were very excited to have us. They have a great amount of space in front of their screen that really, I said, that's more than space than we need. And we could do the show right here in front of this. Now, because we're in the cinema, our set, we're using their screen. So as the show progresses, there's going to be video happening behind us that like changes with us. And so we're really leaning on the fact that it is the cinema.
So, and what are you going to do to try to attract the audience that's sitting there, to try to attract them to pay attention? Because that's the biggest challenge, certainly, out of the pandemic, that we've all recognized that attention spans are shorter. Right? They weren't short enough, all right? But now they're shorter. People are really dealing with a lot of stress, and so they can't pay attention to these things. What is you going to do there? Is there something special, all right, that you're going to do to keep their attention?
We are all wearing very tight pants.
Wow. Thanks for sharing.
The best thing about live theater is that you can yell directly at the audience.
Yeah.
It's an experience that we all get to do together.
Sure. And
Yeah.
it's 90 minutes of straight laughter.
Right. And so you're going to be talking to folks, right? And I think that's part of what we want to see, is that when we look at somebody, yeah, they're paying attention, all right, to us. And there have been some plays that you've been to, and when they keep us awake, all right, or keep us from not being on our phones or talking to our spouse, all right, we get more of that. But let's talk about in the theater as far as distancing themselves from from the other people for an hour and a half. What are the safety precautions?
Yeah, the
that we take?
theater is always follow CDC guidelines, and they continue to do so. We are not. The theater seats 150. We're not selling the full theater, so there's space allotted for social distancing. We ourselves have all been vaccinated, as we will not be in mass and singing. We've all been vaccinated. And everybody else is going to be strongly encouraged to please wear a mask.
So let's talk. You folks are way younger than some of us in the room. All right. What caused you to get into this arena?
I was in theater.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Well, for me, it's a long, boring story. I think I've always just been somebody who's enjoyed performing. I'm a dancer first, and then in theater or in high school, I started doing theater and I fell in love with it. I was somebody that would get an assignment in school that was a speech and get nervous even then and start sweating before I even had to perform. And theater has opened me up to be the weirdest human being that I could ever be, but I'm confident in doing that. And it's like a drug, I guess.
At what age did you recognize that?
Well, my parents would probably say since I was born, but 4 is when I knew I really liked dancing. And then, in high school is when I was really like, oh, I like singing and acting. And
before we get on the rest here, I wanted to remind folks they get tickets. How can they get tickets to the show?
They go on our website. You just have to remember our website, MiamiTheaterWorks.com.
That's MiamiTheaterWorks.com.
Spelling on R.
All over the
Theater
internet.
R-E.
All right.
Theater R-E.
All right.
Fancy.
And we have...
Is that part of the play?
No.
No. Okay. All right, Jared.
Yes.
All right. Your colleague over there knew when she was 4 years old that she wanted to do this. What about you?
Well, I sort of began my life from the music aspect of it, and I seriously began studying music when I was about 15, and I went to school, college doing that. And for me, one of the things that drew me to theater is one of the teachers I had then. She kind of was doing it all. She sang, she played piano, she directed the operas, she directed all the music, she directed everything. So I kind of attached myself to her. And that was sort of the beginning of it for me, my trajectory from there, because I then got involved in every show she did, everything that she was involved with. I just kind of made it a point to do that. And so that was sort of the beginning of my music, theater, opera sort of lifestyle.
So was she a mentor to you?
Oh, 100%.
Right.
To this day, she still is.
Yes. And that was quite a few years ago.
Yes.
And so, and Michael, what about you? Did you have a mentor when you were?
Yes, it's why I came into teaching, actually.
Why don't you tell us who it was?
Jewel Finley is her name.
Okay.
And she's one of my best friends today. I didn't do theater until sophomore year of high school. We didn't really have it at my high school. I grew up in a very small town in New Hampshire. So, and I did sports, and then I auditioned for my first show, and she pulled me aside and said, "You have something special, and you need to be doing this." And she became, she was the one who drove me to my college auditions. She's the one,
Did you know that before she told you?
No, I did not.
Sometimes it takes a pat on the back for somebody to pay attention. You're not
Correct.
alone here. Why don't you try this? All right?
I was in a little pond, and it was like that. Well, am I just like a big fish in a little pond kind of thing? She's like, no, you have something special.
Before we get on to the two of you, it's an obligation that we each have to be able to encourage other people, because they just might be waiting for that. You can do that.
Yes.
For that pat on the back to be able to make a move. So I hope that you do that and
100%.
keep paying it forward. Okay, Owen, tell us about you. When did you realize, hey, this is it?
Well, let's see. Technically, it goes back to elementary school because I used to be in a band, which technically isn't a band if you're in elementary school. But I didn't start until 8th grade, and that was before I even met Michael. And I'd say Michael was my mentor, definitely. He's the one that encouraged me to continue doing theater. I was doing sports, just like we have a very similar beginning story for theater. And still doing theater, supporting Michael, making sure Miami has all live theater it needs. But I'm actually an architecture major, I'm minor in theater, so everybody else is like here, and I'm down here, and I'm just happy to be part of it all.
That's wonderful. When you find that passion, all right, it's important you brought up about Miami theater. We certainly need more of this throughout Miami-Dade and South Broward, not too far up, all right? And so each of you also have that responsibility to promote that, not just what you are doing, but the concept. So because somebody could find this genre interesting or another one. So Natalie, tell us about when you decided, hey, I love doing this and I'm going to keep doing it.
For sure. Well, like many of us, I think the wonderful thing about like the arts is that even if you have a tiny, tiny love for it, you can discover it very young. So I always did dance when I was younger, and then finally in elementary school as well, I got like my first part in a real musical. I was the Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland, which is when I figured out that I could sing a little bit. And then from there, I just discovered this beautiful community of people, artists, singers, dancers, theater folk. And then really in high school, working with Michael as a student and teacher, but also as a colleague, was incredible and really drove me to study that. And then I also do film. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Let's talk about when you said you were in elementary school. What grade was that?
I was fifth grade.
Fifth grade. That was fifth grade that you were in the play.
I was, yes.
All right. Long before that, you made a decision you wanted to go to that direction. How old were you? The farthest back that you can recall, say, I like that.
Definitely younger, like Stephanie, 3 or 4. My mom put me in a ballet class, and like you feel the spotlight on you. You feel special.
And I think that's important as we go through our lives. You realize that it does start, with the exception of Michael over here, all right? For the most part, it starts when you're really young. And part of our responsibility is to get people to be able to express themselves. So that little thing that's inside that's ready to come out, they're just waiting for somebody to say, you can do that, all right?
I think, if I get a little preachy, I think it's important for people to embrace that, whether they're somebody that could be a mentor or just a peer. Because for me, I dulled that excitement because I was made fun of for being good or being passionate about stuff. And I wish that I wouldn't let that affect me, because now I kind of like, ha. Who's laughing now? But I think it's just, we should be more accepting of people who are into something that you're not, whatever it is.
And just by virtue that you are here today, all right, I'm delighted you're here. I'm delighted to see that Bob's here and Bill's over there giving me little notes. And make sure the letters are really big, Bill, so I can see it. Right. Okay. So we really enjoy bringing this to our readers, all right, and to our viewers. Okay, all set aside, this is a new business in our community. Did I read that right? All right. Okay.
You're so good.
So, Bill, you want to come around? Can you come over here for a second? All right. Can we get you over here?
Sure.
All right. So,
Where do you want me?
I want you to be on. Let's see.
Right here.
All right. Why don't you talk about what it's like? And Bill Kress is assisting in promoting this. So, tell us what it's like working with these folks.
It has been a little bit zany. They've been absolutely off the hook each time I've worked with them. We're setting up photographers and writing press releases and all that good publicity stuff. But I've also noticed recently a little bit, you're looking a little tired, guys.
Never.
Which I think goes to the fact that they're rehearsing really, really hard. So I'm being a pain in the butt and trying to pull them out of those rehearsals. And I'm not a real popular person.
So the first is on Friday, the August 6th, which is pretty soon, right? In a week-ish or so,
7
right?
days.
Yeah, so you're pretty excited. New venue, new play, all right? New title of the show, very clever, all right? Whoever came up with that, I think that it's wonderful, because when I was reading the notes, after about 30 seconds, I go, I get it. Okay, this is it, all right? So who thought of that?
Well, it was the original. So this is a play that made it to Broadway.
Yes.
So we play those people. So Jeff Bowen and
Yes.
Hunter Bell, who we play,
Yes.
are the actual people who created this whole
Right.
thing.
Just to be clear, there are 5 people, right?
There are 5
The 5 of
yes.
you are going to be there, and it's just there.
Yes.
And people do want to know what % of what you do is spontaneous ad lib, and how often do you you start doing it and you go, oh, I completely forgot. And your partner on the other side is looking at you going, yes, I know that you forgot. We'll figure out something to do to fill this big void of 15 seconds that feels like an hour.
I think in rehearsal, I would say we do that a lot now as we've learned an entire show, 90-minute show in 5 days, which is not normal usually. But once we get into running the show and the performances, I would say, it's all scripted. We can have some reactions that would be unscripted, and we've had our fair share, none of which I'll share. But this is all scripted, and then it just allows us to have fun. I mean, that's the best part about this show.
And Natalie, what is it like working with folks like Bill and your co-workers here and your other stars to be able to get close enough to people to where you go, this is really good, all right? What's that like?
What's that like? Well, I do my best to be the voice of reason most of the time. We do need an adult in the room eventually. But
there is one person in the room that needs that.
There's
Bob.
one. There's
and it's
one
not
adult.
me.
No, it has been the most wonderful experience because this show is about 4 friends in a show. We have really become 4 friends in a show. And so everything is very organic. All of the chemistry is very organic. And it's been wonderful to work with Bill as well, who's helping us get our faces out there, helping us put butts in seats.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
And we know Bill. We've worked together for many, many years. All
I
right.
know about butts and seats.
Okay.
I've been
And-
promoting people.
Okay. And it's nice to see you again. So, and so you mentioned that you have a major in architecture.
I'm working on majoring in architecture. I'm still in college.
So, how do you process that? Where architecture sometimes is, more linear like this. This is what we're going to do. There are architects that are very creative, and there are others that are more traditional. So, how do you find it in your brain to be able to let go of that stuff over there, right, and then to be able to have this very creative part?
Well, I actually think architecture is a lot like theater, if I'm being honest. You got the tech and the science behind it, and then you have the art and the design and performance and whatnot. And so it's really just about balancing out those two sides of your brain. And, I've always liked science. I've also always liked performance and creativity. So architecture was like the perfect blend of that. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to continue doing theater. I love theater. I'm in a theater troupe in college. I'm with these nerds right now. But it's just how my brain works, honestly. It's easy to switch between the two because they're so similar.
So, come August 12th, all right? Is that the last day?
Yeah.
August 12th, coming up in a couple of weeks. We got 2 minutes left. What happens after the curtain closes on August 12th? What
They
happens?
tell me the truth on what they think of me. Stephanie goes back to Wisconsin as a company. I'm hoping that people come out and support this and show me that I am onto something and that we do need more theater groups in Miami. There's not a lot, and that we will start planning our next production.
And are you going to lead that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Simply, yeah.
Yeah. I is currently at the helm.
Okay. And Natalie, August 12th, closing time, what happens?
Oh, I cry a little bit, probably. You get so used to being around everybody you love so much, it's going to be hard to say goodbye. But probably I'll be in Miami for a little longer, hopefully continuing to work with Michael on whatever comes next.
You're hired.
And Owen?
Well, right after we bow, there's probably going to be a quick moment where I'll just cry on the floor. But then for me, it's immediately packing and heading back to college.
I mean, quite
Wow.
literally, don't we have strike? We take down the set.
Yeah.
If you want to know literal here, we'll be doing that.
probably use the restroom and then we break down the set.
And then bye.
Bye.
Yep.
Till next year.
So, till next year.
Yeah.
Bill, let's do a pitch for people to buy tickets.
Well, you're not going to want to miss this show. There's 3 main reasons why I believe this company is doing this right now. It's the community needs it, and the community needs. The production company needs your support. We all need a good laugh right now. And what was the question?
Do a pitch for you.
How to get people?
Buy tickets.
Yeah.
And if you can't buy tickets and go yourself, buy the tickets and give them to somebody else, all right? And if you can't give them to somebody else, buy the tickets anyway and say keep the tickets and sell them to
You go
somebody else.
online, it's really easy. I did it this morning, and you can too.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. When you said you mean that I should do that?
It was a you plural.
Okay. All right. That's good. Nice to see you, Bill. All right. So I want to thank everybody again. Let's go from right up. Michael Stoddard.
Yep. Thank you.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Jared. How do you pronounce your last name, Jared?
Perun.
Perun. Okay.
Yes.
Stephanie
Stephanie.
Stazik.
How do you say your last name?
Stazik.
Stazik. Okay. And you're playing Heidi. Okay. And Owen, you're playing Hunter.
Yes, sir.
And Natalie, you play Susan.
I do.
That's wonderful again. So you can go online at MiamiTheaterWorks.com.
RE Theater.
RE Theater. All right. RE Theater. Yes. And he's a great editor. He used to correct my spelling all the time. All right. Actually, he would do more than that.
I threw in some mistakes.
So again, thanks for joining us. Where are we at, Tommy? Okay, I'm going to say goodbye, and then we're going to do another song, and then he's just going to fade away. All right? So you ready for your next song?
Sure.
Yeah, sing one.
Which one? The last finale? Just
Sure.
go for it.
Yes.
All right.
And then somewhere in there, Tommy's going to say, he's going to go like this and motion me, and I'll say, thank you, folks, for joining us. All right, let's hear it,
Oh, the finale.
ladies and gents.
Finale? Oh, this just the finale.
Yeah.
Very short finale. Well, let's just step off, and we'll put the show out there.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, it's the end of the road. Oh, what a long road we go. And now we have to let go. This is the last line of our show.
Thank you for joining us. Have a great day, folks, and enjoy